to be talking, John, about the Bengals receivers.
Do you hear something?
I barely hear something.
I
actually.
hear someone. It sounds like someone kidnapped Daddy when he's speaking out of a bag or out of the back of a trunk.
Okay, let me fix that. But, John, how you doing?
I'm doing
He said,
good.
"John, how you doing?"
I think I heard him that time. He might be speaking a little bit louder. He's trying to. He's doing what he can, you know. But I'm
Can you
doing
hear me
well.
now?
Oh,
Oh my
I can hear you
gosh.
too much now.
Too much. now.
Okay, yeah.
You can never
Too
put him on
loud,
the
too
phone.
clear.
There you go.
Give me that old quiet Daddy. That's the one I like.
Is it good now? Is it good now?
It's perfect.
Okay.
And welcome everybody. Welcome to this
Welcome, yeah.
wonderful, wonderful show podcast about Bengals football. If you're a fan of the team, or if maybe you're just a fan of comedy, well, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah.
Did they get the
That was
job?
pretty good. That was pretty good. John, look, I want to start this show talking about Mr. Tyler Boyd. This
Oh, yeah.
guy has been there since what, 2016.
Oh,
he
yeah.
has made so many big plays over the years. And as he pointed out, if he had played in the AFC Championship game, he had started really hot. He had a couple of big grabs. If he had played in the AFC Championship game, maybe the Bengals would have been Super Bowl champs by now.
I think
and this
it's
man-
a point that must be considered.
Yes. And so this guy was back at camp. He had some family time. And he looked good, John. He looked good, as always. And we saw, obviously, Burrow was getting in the rhythm back with Boyd, who both of them are very, very smart football players. Great sense of timing. You see Burrow's getting back in the groove.
These are not amazing throws, by the way.
Yeah. But John, the question is, how long will Boyd be around in Cincinnati? And everybody, there's a debate about Higgins. What is the contract going to look like? But it's assumed that Boyd is going to be gone.
Yeah, it's a fair assumption. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Like, at a certain point, you really can't pay everyone, right? Like, you can do as many cap gymnastics as you want, but Tyler Boyd's going to command a similar deal to what he's making now, considering it's been 4 years since that extension, and the receiver market has only increased. So, like, he's been getting, what, $9-10 million a year to be a starting slot. I feel like at this point, if he's still a capable starting receiver, there's a team desperate enough to make him essentially, what, like a number 2 that would still operate out of the slot. And obviously, a fit in the offense would be a prerequisite, but he's going to be old, but not too old where he wouldn't command another starting deal.
Yeah, if I may, if I
Yeah.
might, I want to say exactly what the plumber used to say when he would come to our apartment, Daddy, when we used to live together back in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that is let me cut through the crap. So I was speaking to my stepson the other day, and he asked the question to me in the most simplest way you can imagine. He said, "Dr. Smoji," yes, he addresses me that way, "are the Bengals better off now than they were at the start of last season, yes or no?" That's the question. Are they better off coming into this 2023 season, yes or no? And do you know what I said to that young man?
Yes.
I said yes. And he
Yeah.
Well, I
said
don't
why.
know.
He is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
said why. He said why. And that is a good follow-up question, by the way.
Yeah.
And I said 2 words, Sonny Boy, Orlando Brown. That's what
Orlando
we were
Brown is
missing.
gonna be big.
That's
Gonna
what
be
we
big.
needed, because Joe Burrow can work with anything and anybody. He can make any wide receiver look great.
That,
And he has
on that
good-
point.
yes,
on
on
that
that
point,
point.
I want to talk about a couple other rookie wide receivers, John. Charlie Jones.
Charlie
He's
Jones.
out there. He's
Out
out there. He's moving
Wearing
around.
the
He's
short
running
shorts,
around.
just running with the short
Yeah.
shorts.
And
Who
really
wears short
looking like
shorts? Charlie
Tyler
Brown
Boyd.
wears
John.
short shorts.
He's looking like Tyler Boyd there with the moves over the middle, wouldn't you say?
That's who he's replacing, right? Like, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of interesting how
He
Yeah.
he's got Eifert look to him. Sorry, John.
Boyd has been doing his own thing. Jones has been taking reps as, like a number 4 receiver right now on the depth chart. And a lot of the things that Boyd has been successful with, the Bengals are counting on Charlie Jones to do something similar, right? So I think question is, how much does Jones play this year? Because he's going to be behind those three starting receivers, and Boyd is going to be here, and Boyd's wearing those nice sunglasses because he's blocking out the uncertainty of his future. He wants to be here, he wants to compete, and what he wants is what he'll get.
Yeah. Well, to that point, John.
This is my home for now, and I just ain't gonna worry about the unexpected. I'm here to finish this year out, and whatever happens, happens. But I know we have a very, very high chance of making the Super Bowl and even winning. And this is where I want to be. Whether I come up with a new deal or not. I got to just go out there and I'm gonna be me. I ain't.
So basically everything John said. Tyler Boyd is on the same page as John.
I was paraphrasing him, so yeah.
Wait a minute. Now, I realize there might be some comedy or sarcasm going on here, but I kind of got.
Well, I have to.
this-
Sorry, we have to stop what we were discussing.
Stop everything someone gave us
because
money, right?
Rowdy every point just gave us $500,
$5,
and he's
that's fine.
saying
Look at the
500
decimal
cents.
point.
we have to
Look at the decimal point.
we have to answer his question. Is there a price which they keep Boyd? $7 million a year,
$7
or have the
million
Bengals
a year.
already mentally moved on after 2023?
Mentally,
I would
they are
say
mentally
this.
more. They have too many wide receivers.
They have too many wide receivers. I would say this to Mr. Every Point. The Bengals have proven to us that they are loyal beyond what anybody else would imagine. And Tyler Boyd, John, is probably going to be in the Ring of Honor one day.
You think?
No way.
I think so, John.
No way.
I mean,
What
What
kind
is
of
it?
meaningless ring of honor would it be for a third wing wide receiver? I mean, God bless him, but I mean, what are
Yeah.
you just going to put everybody in the ring of honor, Daddy-O?
well, last week we were talking about putting Dave Lapham in the Ring of Honor. So,
You think it's
John's-
unquestioned that Boyd has had a better career than Dave Lapham? I'm not disagreeing with you, but like
on
is
the
that,
field?
is that obvious
Yeah.
to you? Yeah. Okay.
I think pretty
Different
much.
time, different people. Okay.
Okay, but my point
Boyd
is, John,
lives in
my
the
point is-
age of
my point is-
passing. Boyd lives in
Yeah.
an age when wide receivers see a lot more action. Okay.
Let me just say this about Boyd, okay?
Please, because you're making no sense to me right now, Daddy.
Well, Boyd was one of those guys, along with Von Bell
Yeah.
and a few other guys, I would say, maybe DJ Reader, that, of course, Joe Burrow, that changed the physicality of the Bengals. They changed the franchise.
No.
They came in and they added some bites.
No.
And I think Boyd
he did
deserves
not do
credit.
that.
He saw the
deserves no credit.
turnaround.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And he's a high character guy.
I like him,
Yeah.
but no.
So to
he
answer
deserves no accolades.
So to answer every point's question, yeah, I think John. I think if they can squeeze him under the cap, they would.
So like this
They
is just a thing now. Like just because the Bengals are good, fans expect these players to take less than what they're worth or what they could get. I don't think.
Well,
Boyd
what
would
would he
take
get
$7
in
million.
the open market, John? What would he
I
get?
think he'll get a minimum what he's getting now. Maybe not as long of a deal, but I think he could still get $10 million a year on the open market.
Won't he be
absolutely.
30? Won't he be 30 years old at that
He'll be
point?
29, I think. So
Next year?
yeah, but like again, a team desperate enough for receivers like Tyler Boyd is arguably, if not the best slot receiver, one of the 5 best
That's a good
slot
point.
receivers in the
He
game.
could get
still
12
has,
million a year. Yeah.
yeah, like
That's true.
it like the Bengals should have interest to bring him back, but they can only fit so much, you know.
That's true.
They can only fit so
That's true.
much. And by the way, remember, he's going to be much more of a star on those other teams where there's not a T.
Precisely.
Higgins and a Jamar Chase.
Without
like you think-
Joe Burrow
like-
throwing him the ball, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Bengals probably had interest to bring back Hayden Hurst, but the Panthers were so desperate because they needed a tight end. They paid him a lot of money, right? The Bengals weren't
Yeah.
willing to match that. It's probably the same situation.
Okay,
good,
well
man.
let me add. So we're talking about Charlie Jones and how good he looked, and also John,
He looked
Andre Iosivas was
So close. So close.
he was interviewed by Jeff Hobson. He was talking about how he's learning a lot from Jamar Chase, but really from T. Higgins, because they're both very big receivers. And coaches were praising his body awareness, and Andre was saying, I have progressed in these first few days as much as you'd expect in 3 months. So he is really, really benefiting from the culture and from the talented players around him. He could make some big plays this year, John.
When people say that they're in the best shape of their life in training camp, it's usually
No,
it's
he
false.
didn't say that. He didn't say
No,
that.
but I'm saying like I'm willing to believe what he says about his progress, just because if he's not the most athletic, if he's not the smartest player that they have going into an Ivy League school, he's top 2, right? Like the dude is just all about it, and I'm willing to trust him on that.
Yeah.
I trust.
And And so I want to show some clips
Please.
of Andre because really,
Show.
it's been. I mean,
No
he is
talk.
like John said, physically, so impressive, John.
Yeah.
And so let's see.
It's just
here.
easy for him.
Okay, no, that's not the clip. That's not it either. Having
What's
some-
happening?
Why is this
What are we
happening?
doing?
Having some issues here.
Football.
John.
How did
Did
this
you
get
not
past
pay
the
your
producer?
internet fee?
No, I think it's an issue. John? Do you have a virus on your computer or something?
No.
Okay.
Let me check.
One of you does. One of you has a virus on your computer, and
What are the
think-
what are the symptoms of the virus?
This guy doesn't turn his mic. He's throwing up ads. Like,
I
what
think
is
I think
happening?
we're going to have to bring in our
Bring in
cybersecurity
cybersecurity. 'Cause someone-
specialist, our guard. Yes.
Why
And
does this always happen to us?
yeah, Vlada, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm fine. How are you doing?
Hi, Vlad.
Very good. This is Vlada.
Yeah.
She basically is yes. She handles our cybersecurity. And Vlada, tell me how does everything look to you? We don't have any real issues, right?
It isn't looking quite well. You have a lot of malware on your computer,
Yeah.
which is why you are the only one with the internet connectivity issues at the moment.
Yeah. It's just so weird. You know,
he
how
always,
does
he
that
al-
happen?
he's always
You know, it's
buggy,
like-
Vlada. I can never understand him. He's
Yeah.
always
I
bugging
mean-
out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's more about falling for obvious phishing scams. Like
Yeah.
when the last time you gave your social security number to a site that said that you could download free calzones.
Yeah, no, that was legit. That was legit, Vlad.
How can you download
Not really.
food?
You wouldn't be legit if it smacked you in the mustache.
Yeah.
How would that even work? I mean, yeah.
Well, would the food come out of like the USB port?
No,
Yeah.
not in any way. And I think because you had a representative of the House of Congress on your show, Greg Landsman,
Yeah.
Landsman, there are a lot of
Good
government
friend of mine.
agencies looking to access your laptop. So I had to confiscate it and do a very deep clean.
Oh, so like you got rid of all the viruses and that kind of stuff.
No, you don't understand. I had to do a literal deep clean with compressed air to remove all of the Doritos, Cheetos, and Fritos from the pathways, so your laptop doesn't overheat every half an hour. Then I tried to save whatever information wasn't confiscated, but I could only save a few images that I think you're gonna see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's so
Oh my
strange.
lord.
Vlada. Yeah.
Why is that on your
So
computer, Daddy? You
this is what the
fascist?
hackers. Yeah, I don't know how these got on.
Oh, they placed them?
Oh my gosh.
I think what it is Vlad. I think I bought my laptop during the previous administration, and these just come pre-configured
Whoa.
on there.
Whoa.
I think that's I think that's what happened.
You know, this is exactly what I would have imagined Daddy's laptop having. Is
yeah,
that kind of,
sure.
yeah, jingoistic stuff.
Yeah.
So what do
How
we
much
do
did you
from
pay for
here?
that superhero picture? How much did you pay?
I wanna know.
Vlada, don't listen to them. What do we do from here?
Basically, because you have a very limited budget of around $8 or whatever, I'm going to have to send it to a smaller lab, but outside the US.
Okay.
You don't need to worry because it's some of my old high school friends.
Yeah.
And I think they actually have a lot of common with you. They are big Tucker Carlson fans.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Yeah.
Exactly.
$8. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. So I wouldn't worry about the virus, guys. Vlada is on top of it.
Vlado,
I am.
What would we do without you? You see what we're dealing with here. The man's a
I
maniac.
have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Vlada.
Can I get a filter to get Daddy out of my computer? Just generally out of my life. That would be great.
Vlada, don't listen to these guys. I'm the one who pays Vlada. Please. Okay. Thank you, Vlada.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Vlada.
All right. Well,
It's nice to have a fellow professional every once in a while, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, we need
The
Bridget.
things you
but-
can get for $8 nowadays, huh?
Yes. It was either that or getting my account verified, John. But, okay, look. We have a few other things to cover John, I want to
Is
talk
Cap
about.
coming on the show today?
No, he's not coming. No, I couldn't get Cap. No, but John, have you heard of Jarrett Bailey for the Bears Wire? Have you heard of this writer?
I have not. No.
Okay, so he came up with 32 non-football comparisons for all 32 starting quarterbacks, and here's what he said about our Joe Burrow.
Comparing the fruit
Yeah.
or like instruments or people.
To anything. So he
Okay.
said, Joe Burrow, his comparison is Ryan Gosling. Why is that? Because he's handsome, multi-talented. Women want to be him. Women want him, and men want to be him. That's
Are we
the
talking
comparison.
That's
like
not
Notebook,
that. I
Blade
don't want to
Runner,
be. I don't want
or-
to be Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
or Drive? There's a lot of Ryan Goslings out there. Like which one? Like
Yeah.
Crazy Stupid Love?
He didn't specify.
that might be
But
the Joe
John,
Burrow.
So he had comparisons for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, who's Mahomes?
Kermit?
No.
Who's Mahomes?
Hoji, take a guess.
Actor?
It could be anything.
Well, but if it could be anything, how do I guess?
That's the point.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes, roast beef sandwich.
Very close. Thanos. Yeah. It is Thanos, yeah. Okay, Tua. John.
Looks
guess
nothing
Tua.
like him, but
I mean,
whatever.
it's just like how. do
No,
you
it's not
guess
about
if it could be
looks. It's
anything?
not about looks. See, for yeah, it's about
Okay, Tua to me,
Is he a crash
Pelican.
test dummy?
Tua. No,
Pelican.
no. A piece of
Flamingo.
celery.
Celery. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I just don't get like.
Well,
This
because
is a really
okay, so
difficult
for
game,
for
Daniel.
Mahomes,
This is a very difficult
for
game.
Holmes, he says because he's inevitable. For Tua, he says because it's not so great on its own, but when you add peanut butter, like Tyreek Hill, it becomes tasty.
Whatever.
That was his argument.
I mean,
Okay,
I
one
could
last
sit around
one.
and do this. Who would
One
lead
last
it
one.
other than okay?
Lamar
other than you?
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
A cheetah.
No.
Can I take a guess?
Yes.
A McLaren.
Piece
Would
of
you?
cement.
Samuel L. Jackson. He says
Why?
the versatile talent, the personality, heck, even the last name. Lamar is the on-field equivalent to the legendary actor.
Never seen him drop an F bomb, so I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, I don't like that
I'm
one.
sick and tired of all these snakes on the plate.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of these stupid, stupid receivers on this stupid, stupid
Love
team.
you too, Jeffrey Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
well, now you brought up something. Let me bring up something.
Yes.
Have you all noticed this pattern on Twitter, wherein a person can basically compare Joe Burrow to anybody in the NFL and say Joe Burrow isn't as good as X,
yeah.
and then everybody goes nuts.
Yeah, the
It's
Bengals
honestly
fans.
a great strategy. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
happening all the time nowadays.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think what it really tells you, what it indicates, is that Joe Burrow's better than everybody. Because you can only do that with somebody who deep down everybody knows is
well,
better
no,
than all
I
those
think
people.
what it is this, John. I think it is what it is. There's a few factors. Number one, the
Yeah.
Bengals have been bad for a long time, so they know. And let's be honest, the media hasn't really been very partial to the Bengals, right? I mean, they get disrespected more than they should, and partly because of their history, right? But that's one part. Number two, I think Joe Burrow's game isn't, he's not as physically impressive as Josh Allen or Mahomes. It's harder for the kind of the nerds.
Neither
kind
was
of
Manning, by
recognize.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton,
So
I mean.
Manning didn't have to play against Mahomes and Allen at the time. Like his
Yeah.
competition was Brady, it was Drew Brees, his quarterbacks who play exactly like Joe Burrow, right? The game has changed. And Burrow's
Yeah.
game still translates because he still has that layer of athleticism that you need now, but like he looks more like the quarterbacks of the Mannings and the Bradys and whatnot. There's just a whole economy
And number
on QB
three, John,
discourse.
I would say number three, John. Yes, Mahomes had Tyreek Hill, but with Burrow, people. I mean, I love T Higgins, and he's amazing, but he developed really well in the NFL. Let's be honest. Coming out of college, you can't put him in the same category as some of these other superstar receivers. So you have to give Burrow some credit for his development. But to outsiders, it's like, oh, he has Jamar Chase and T Higgins. It's like any quarterback would look good, which is not true.
No.
I think that's another factor.
No, he
this
has
is
a
ju-
lot going against him, Joe Burrow. People might not remember.
John.
But Joe Burrow has
no.
gone into every major game, any playoff game, and the Super Bowl game as well from the year before.
Yeah.
He's gone into any of them and made winning quite possible.
I agree.
There was never a time where you're watching the Bengals in an important moment and you're like, oh, we don't have a chance. They always had that chance. It was amazing.
That's true, but
yeah.
it's not the reason why this is happening. The biggest thing going against Joe Burrow is the fact that people talk about him and what he does well all the time. So there's only one way to go from there, and it's to pick apart his game. It's what happens with any great player. It's just what it is. We did this with Mahomes last year.
Yeah, but John, but there's a difference, okay? So I think Burrow, unlike Mahomes, he hasn't broken a lot of record. You know, Mahomes his first starting year, he threw 50 touchdowns. You know, and that kind of set the tone. Burrow so far has not been like a record-setting quarterback statistically, but he gets it done. I think that's part of it. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
think-
guys.
I
Okay, hold
think-
on.
listen.
Everybody stop. Everybody
Oh,
stop.
stop what we're doing. Stop.
Rowdy, every
If anyone should stop, it's Rowdy who should stop. It's $1,000 at this
keep going.
point.
No, this is.
Five
I want to just say, not only is he funding the show, he's actually giving us material. So
What does
yeah, for
2022 look
Jamar
like
Chase?
for Jamar
I
Chase?
said on a
Does he
couple
get
shows
his
ago-
yards per catch back up closer to his rookie year, or is it going to be more like 2022?
I don't know about yards per
Rowdy every
catch,
point.
but he's going to set a career high in total yards. He's going to
No.
top 1,600 yards.
No.
Barring
Wow.
injury,
It's
he's
going to be more like
easily gonna top-
2022.
Easily
No.
1,600 yards.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, Mr. Rowdy every point. Let me ask you a question. I say this as a musician. As you mature, you stop doing that one thing that everybody wants you to. Other,
Okay,
So-
sorry. Yeah, took the wrong guy out of the stream. Go ahead.
that's
Roger.
okay. So you know, there's times when you have this one thing you can do, you do it well, people clap, but then you learn other things. The offense of the Cincinnati Bengals is going to be spreading it out next year. It's going to be a lot less Jamar Chase reliant than it was, because the Jamar Chase thing is what they do. The relying on Jamar Chase is what they do when the other things don't work. And I think the other things are going to start working. And you're going to see more time with a better offensive line for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow is going to have other options. He goes to Jamar because Jamar and Joe, they have that chemistry. But you're going to see less of that. It's not that Jamar Chase is on the decline. It's that the rest of the team, the rest of the offense is on the incline. And therefore, fewer yards for Jamar, but better offense overall.
I think
that's my
more-
analysis.
I think
and that's
more
my
yards
Hojo
for. I,
score.
look, John, what's Joe Burrow's career high in passing yards?
No, I want to know if John agrees with me. I don't care about your opinion. What's John think?
John.
In the games that he was healthy last year, I think Jamar was averaging around 100 yards per game.
So that's 1,700 yards.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there were times when it seemed like he was being force fed, and they were definitely going through a period where they didn't really know how to beat defenses the way that they were playing them, and that led to Jamar being an underneath option
Yeah.
instead of this vertical threat that he was as a rookie. I think in general, the offensive line being better just means you just have more freedom to do whatever
More
you
yards
want
overall.
offensively.
You can have more
and I
yards overall, yeah.
so yeah, like that makes sense, and I feel like Jamar is going to be the same in terms of efficiency as he's always been. So like maybe it's a mix between the 2 years, you know.
I think so. I think everybody's going to have more yards, John. I think it's going to be. Let me just tell you something. Ken Anderson, Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Ken Anderson
Has been on our show.
was on our show, and he also had a great career, and very
Too
a smart guy, John. Ken Anderson went to visit the Bengals camp.
Yes.
Here's a picture of him with Ted Karras. And he had some really great things to say about this team.
Put up
He
the
was
picture
talking
again.
about.
Yeah, can you put the picture up? I want to imagine him saying it while he's saying. While you
He's
say
got
what he
some
says.
calves on him. My God, does he still do leg day?
I think so.
I think leg day, John.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He should come
Yeah,
back.
maybe.
Back up QB.
With the dad New Balances too, that's a fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ken Anderson, John, he was at camp and he was very impressed with how they were working in full speed already. And he said he was very impressed with how quickly they move into play action. Right?
Yeah.
And this is a sign that this team, John, they are very crisp offensively. It's the crispest they've ever been.
Yep.
And
Extra
Zach
crispy.
Taylor, yes, and Zach Taylor was saying, even though they have all these new pieces, they have Orlando Brown, they have these rookie receivers, all this, he said everything is coming together already. I think, John, this is what, year 4 for Burrow, year 4
I think you can
for
take the picture
Higgins,
down.
year 3 for Chase, right? Year, I don't know what, year 5 for Mixon in Zach Taylor's offense, right?
We're not going to talk
I
about
mean-
Zach at all. Zach is not a factor in any of this. The fact that he's becoming a better coach, the fact that the team is improving as he improves, we're not going to talk about any of that, right?
I mean, we don't have all day for the show. We have to cut it at some point.
Right.
But so the point is this: is that John, everything is crisp. Everybody's on the same page. They understand each other, you know. And also, John,
John.
we lost our quarterback coach, the one that
Yeah.
everybody loves, right?
No.
John. No, we didn't. Oh no, we still have him. That's the point, John. We still have Dan Pitcher, and here he is. Look at him coaching Joe Burrow. Look at him. Look at him telling him go
Look
this
at
way,
the
go that way.
moves. Look at the
Go this
dance.
way. Yeah. So we have consistency with our quarterback coach as well. And you have Joe Burrow rolling out, looking beautiful, looking big and beautiful. And
He does look healthy.
I really
He must
I
be
really,
vegan.
John, I mean, you add these 2 receivers to the equation. This
Which
offense
2?
is, yeah. The rookies.
The rookies.
You just expanded upon the point, which is
No,
everything
everybody's
looks
going to
good in
have
May.
more. John, let me,
No,
let me explain
Everything
economically.
looks good in May. Everything looks good. Everything looks good in May
Just wait till June.
and
baby.
June.
And June. Wait till July.
But John,
And
they're
July.
barely practicing.
Wait till August.
They're barely practicing. They're not practicing as much as other teams, and they're already
I think
this
the main
sharp.
the main takeaway here, I think, is that everything is in place for when adversity inevitably
Why are you
does
so negative?
happen.
Why is John so negative?
Because I know what happens. I know no
Okay.
no team
It's
goes
speaking
completely
of
healthy,
knowing
right?
what happens. Go to John's, read his articles. He knows. Go ahead.
You will learn a lot about yourself, about football, and about the Cincinnati.
You
Bengals.
might not
got
like
to
it,
read
but
A
you
to
will
Z
learn.
sports.com /Cincinnati. This
Cincinnati,
man,
yeah.
this man, John Sheeran, he is the heart and soul of this show.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to
And-
come back on here when the Bengals lose a game in September, and then
Yeah.
Daddy was calling for Zach Taylor's head, and I'm going to tell him to calm down because it's
Calm it.
September, and then they're going to win 12 games in the season. And then Daddy's going to say he's always been right. I've seen this before.
Yeah, it's what we do every year.
Is that all we have for the show?
Is
John?
Rowdy every point you got another $5?
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
wanna throw
I really
something?
want to end the show, but I'm afraid Rowdy Every Point has another question. It's not for
Rowdy-
the money. I just really
No,
like his
but if you have
questions.
$5 and you have a question, it seems that the two go together nicely.
I feel like I feel like we need more good questions in this world. And you really, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't just, free questions, let's be honest. When people ask questions for free, they're just throwing
It
anything out there.
devalues the question, right? It cheapens
Yeah.
the question. You go to a nice restaurant, you give a $5 tip at least.
Yeah. I think, okay. Oh, wow. He didn't pay for this one.
I
That
want
was
to
a
talk
free
about
go-to.
your
Yeah.
finances,
That was a
Rowdy, because you
free-
clearly need to adjust
he didn't
that.
pay. He didn't pay for that one.
Yeah,
That
you
was a
don't have
free
to answer
question.
that one, John. Don't
Yeah,
answer it.
John, do
He didn't
not address
pay.
that question. Rowdy, you got to pay. You don't get them free.
Anybody else? Okay, John, I think
John,
that's all
no
we got,
talking.
really.
He asked you to talk. Don't talk until he pays.
Yeah. All right. With that, John, I think we should tell people to go subscribe to the show. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to pause it. Outro.
Wait a minute. How did someone pay
So-
$4.99?
Is
$4.99.
this a rhetorical question?
Because John said he was concerned about his finances. Okay, so BitItch is asking John, and it's a good question. The question,
What does that mean?
I think the question is
John?
Who is John? What is
no,
John?
No.
Why is John?
I think
Is the
it's more
question,
like
I
this.
think.
I think it's more
Well,
like
and let's not
I'm
forget,
disappointed
as-
in you, John, for not believing that the Bengals are going to have an amazing start to the season.
Now,
think
now
that's-
here's
I would like to see it.
If I may, BitItch, yeah. If I may,
Okay, no, we can't
Rowdy
use that
every
one.
point.
Sorry, but we can use this one because he just paid.
If I may, we are grateful to you, but we're also grateful to all of these people you see listed on the running screen below, who are our Patreons. And if you'd like to be a Patreon of this show,
Yeah.
You can do that. You can.
Yeah, you can.
You know, you might think, oh, who am I to pay to watch them? I'm a nobody. No, you're a somebody. You are somebody. We love you.
Yeah.
You watch
I mean,
this show. We care about you.
I just want to
And
say
you
something.
Can be a
If you
Patreon.
look
So
at the bottom there are 12 somebodies in this
12
world. And I will
somebodies.
read them to you. There are 12
Yeah.
somebodies. You got to
Please.
get it.
Yeah.
Bandana Nilo.
Yes.
Ricky Storm. Oh, hold on. We got the comments. Might be money. 1 second.
Speedy Man WCC, Jocelyn Perrin, Lorenzo
No, it's not.
Cerisi.
It's not. But Rob Vollet is one of our earliest
Lorenzo Cerisi,
patrons,
Nathan
so-
Sturworth, Rick S.
Stole that from Daddy-O, I think.
Alice Piritz, Nick Marks. I remember you, Nick Marks, and Bengals captain, of course, who was going to be on the show, but he couldn't make it
Yeah.
today. Derek Davis is in the house. And you go to patreon.com/DH Sports. Thumb up, like the show,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
and turn notifications. And
Right.
what about the comment?
Yeah, leave a comment.
I can't talk. What's the
telling
comment
us,
about?
telling us if you think there's any chance the Bengals keep Tyler Boyd.
Good question. Will the Bengals keep Tyler Boyd? Yeah!
Yeah. Don't forget to follow John. Check out his articles. And Hoji's going to be away for a while. So send your love to Hoji. It's the last time you'll see him.
I'm saving the world.
There we go. See you next time. So long. Sweet. Bye.